Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is going to be a video response to Gamer Reviews, not his last video, but the video top 5 genres. And this is actually my second attempt. I did one yesterday, but it ran a little too long, and there's a lot of fat that I need to cut out. But to cut out this fat right now, let's start from the beginning. Number 5, platformers. For me personally, 2D platformers. I like more than 3D platformers, but I don't really have a problem with 3D platformers. Ratchet and Clank, I do like. I don't know if this is a a bad thing or a good or good that I'm admitting this, but I've never actually played a 3D Mario ever because 64 wasn't interesting enough. Neither was Super Mario Sunshine, and I don't have a Wii, so I can't play Galaxy. And so, yeah. If I had a Wii, I'd definitely get Galaxy. There's nothing against that. But, you know, that's just how things are. Why do I like them? They're because they're simple, and they're fun. They're challenging to the mind sometimes. If it's too easy, then there's a problem. But that's it. Number 5, platformers. Number 4, RPGs. But honestly, this is the only RPG I actually have completed at all in my life. Mostly because it was based off the TV show. Well, the TV show was based off of this. But when I was younger, I thought the game was based off the TV show. So I honestly think that if other RPGs had their own TV shows, I'd probably play them. Because I just don't really mess with JRPGs besides this one, or in RPGs in general, except for Pokemon, because it's simple. And also, Pokemon has a special place in my heart because it was the first. Pokemon Crystal was the first game I ever bought on my own money. So, you know, I've just kind of been messing with Pokemon since then. Well, at least on my own. I've always played it, but I never had it, you know, at my own house. It was always at somebody else's house. But RPGs, I really like the story behind RPGs. If anything, I don't really care. If I hate anything about it, they're all the mechanics, the battle systems. They're all this is the only turn-based I actually care about. All these other turn-based games, they're really slow, and I don't have that much patience. I've never had that much patience for RPGs. But you know, maybe when I get older, I'll have patience for RPGs. But still, I do like RPGs. Don't let anything I just said knock anything. But I'm not knocking against them. But number 4, number 3, fighters. Fighters honestly are games that I pull out as party games. You know, people pull out Wii Sports. I pull out a fighter or a racing game because that's really the only time I play fighters. This is my favorite fighter of this gen, BlazBlue. But my favorite fighter is probably Tekken, and me and my boys, we really like Tekken. We had Tekken 5 on our PSPs, and we had little mini tournaments within class, and we just pass our PSPs around, and you know, it was always the same 3 guys that always won the tournament, but we still played it because we didn't care. Tekken fighting games bring out the best and the worst in people. But that's it. Fighters are just simple. Nowadays, though, I mean, fighters used to be so simple. You know, Killer Instinct on the SNES is my 2nd favorite game of all time, and Super Smash Bros. Melee is my 4th favorite game of all time. And you know, they were just so simple back then. Nowadays, it's just reflexes and frame counts and all that dumb shit. But moving on to number 2, action adventure, action games, adventure games, however you want to split that up. And I'm using this as an example. This is, I can't say this is my favorite game of 2010, but it's the only game I actually finished in 2010. I bought a bunch of games last year, but why I like action adventure or action RPGs, not RPGs, action games and adventure games is because also the story, the mechanics. If they're really good, they are really good. This, really good mechanics. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, really good mechanics. Ninja Gaiden, really good mechanics. Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. All those games have great mechanics. And if you find any parallel in all those games I just said, hack and slash. I do like hack and slash. Especially like Dynasty Warriors. I don't own any Dynasty Warriors because I'm not going to pay any type of money for Dynasty Warriors unless somebody gave it to me. But back in the day on the PS2 days, I used to just sit down with my boy David and just run through all the enemies in Dynasty Warriors. Alright, and number one are shooters. Especially this generation, shooters, definitely. Last generation, it might have been fighters because I like Tenkaichi 3, but this generation is definitely shooters for me. My number one favorite game of both first and third person. My number one game of all time is Star Wars Battlefront 2. EA, step your game up, come out with Battlefront 3, stop fucking around. LucasArts, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're making Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. I don't need that. Like, I don't want that. And then my third favorite game of all time is Call of Duty 4. Because it's the only, and probably because it's the only game I played 3 times ever besides Pokemon. That doesn't count. That don't count. And so Call of Duty, not specifically Call of Duty, but I like shooters because they're simple. And they're also mindless. It's the same reason why I like action adventure games. Is because I can just sit down and just like mow down people. I don't like playing on the harder difficulty because it makes me look like a bitch, and I never get past the levels for days. Like, I'm not really good at them. I don't play online multiplayer. I'm not really good at during the campaign, but I do enjoy myself, every now and again. Preferably, I like third-person shooters because I get to see like what the fuck is going on. But I don't mind first persons. Yeah, I think that's it. So shooters at 1, action adventure games at 2, fighters at 3. RPGs at 4, and platformers at 5. And an honorable mention at number 6 would probably be racing games, for the same reason I like fighters. Pull them out in the party. So that's it. And I'm probably gonna do. I got a couple other video responses I gotta do today. So thank you for watching, and I will catch up with y'all later. See ya.